Well, so now I'm going to explain to you the history of the phone. This subject that has become part of our recent life, but only few people know about its history. Um, this subject was patented by Alexander Graham Bell, but the idea wasn't from him. The idea was from the Italian inventor Antonio Meucci, who made it for talking to his sick wife through electric signals. In this age, this device was just didn't have even a number indicator or something like that. It just had something to hear and to talk, like a cup. But in 2002, the American Congress recognized Antonio Meucci as the inventor of the phone instead of Alexander Graham Bell. Then in 1973, the Motorola engineer Martin Cooper did the first phone call without cables. It used to have a maximum duration of 30 minutes, and in the 90s the phones industry just improved into this market, incorporating a screen color, a keyboard, and things like that. Then in 2007, Steve Jobs presented the first watch and phone, and it was an innovating idea. Thank you.
The first ever computer engineered to combat the encryptions made by the Nazis' Enigma machine. In 1946, the ENIAC is the second computer. This consists of vacuum tubes. The first general-purpose computer took the space of a huge room, and its task was to calculate artillery firing tables. In 1949, the early months were used by the U.S. Air Force. In the 1950s, but the first commercial ones were made a decade later. The earliest models were about 75 bps or bits per second. In 1957, the first hard drive LBN chips this hard drive for a whopping 3,000 per megabyte. The RAMAC held 5 MB of data and was as big as 2 refrigerators. In 1957, the first ever programming language used English instead of intelligent numbers. It was suited for numeric computations and scientific calculation. In 1964, the mouse, the first started using a trackball, might be a ton late by a rendered membrane and telephone constants. For the German border side, for through sharing as a part of the RTR86 process computer system. In 1968, Robert Denner's invention greatly increased memory density of the cause of volatile around was born. The ARPANET. The ARPANET was the date of Internet. We all know and love for different computers link. The time with the messages all out rather that logic that's applied to it that not powerful system. In 1979, who was the first commercially available microprocessor might be Federico Frank Jr. Maximum clock rate was 740, able to directly address 640 bytes of RAM. In 1971, they became commercially available in 1971 part of 8 p.m. products. Later were sold separately by memories and others. In 1972, the programming language developed by Dennis Rich at the AT&T believes it is not the most widely used language of all time. In 1975, the first personal computer based on the Intel 8800 CPU, and of the altered BASIC 200 and 800.
The phone is a device that helps us to communicate through electrical signals. It has evolved through the years so much, thanks to the companies that are involved in this topic. We can include in this list the Nokia, Samsung, Motorola, LG, and more. This device has been one of the most important inventions in our history, in the human history, because it's the only device that can transmit voice and sound through him. Nowadays, this device has become a very important communication system in our days, plus the text messages. Those are the most important communicative systems that we have today. And at his invention, this used to have like a circle to put the number. I forgot to say that the phone works with numbers to contact people. Let's say if you want to communicate someone, you just put the number on the keyboard and it just call, and that's it. Now I am going to talk about in this section about the advantages and disadvantages of the use of this device and gadget. The first advantage is the ease and practicality of this as a communication media, because because of the fact it can transmit audio and sound. But